All right. So tonight we're doing something a little different, largely based on conversations we had about me actually doing any real work with the group since Dr. Jess has been doing all these standalone videos that you see every day. And then the group's been trying to do our, you know, every other weekend show, The Good Word, which we do on 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturdays every other week. We just got done doing the last one where we really, really worked hard to try not to talk about politics and sort of botched it totally. So, well, actually, we did a pretty good job of avoiding politics. We did a pretty good job of, I wouldn't say it was distracting from politics. I would say that it was protecting ourselves from politics, largely due to the fact that um, the world's on fire. In fact, that's one reason we decided to do this today was that the world is largely, and I'm setting my microphone up. This is how unprepared I am. Going back to our philosophy of what do they call that philosophy? Oh yeah. Failure is not optional; it's mandatory. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and see as I sit here and figure out who's doing what and what we're doing and why we're doing it. So feel free to ignore me if anybody actually shows up, which I highly doubt they will, but you never know. Um, so one of the things that we've done and I was told to focus on was a discussion of the philosophy behind what we do here. And it's after watching this last weekend news um, and the reaction to it and the basic general population's idea, I don't even know where I live anymore. To be perfectly honest, I'm old and I never thought I'd ever see this type of thing happen. So I'm going to retreat. I'm going to retreat into the only thing that I can control, which is my Minecraft world, um, which I've done before. It's a fairly good way of doing it. Um, and one of the nice things about Minecraft, and one of the biggest things I think about Minecraft when I play it, and I've been playing Minecraft since it was in alpha, is the idea of um, construction, not destruction. Even though there is destruction, it's still, you build stuff to destroy it. Except for griefers. Griefers are a pain in the butt. I I agree. I don't like griefers. The server that we're on right now is going to be open for anybody to use. Um, we have several worlds that you can go to and create. And in fact, we're going to try to max out the memory on my server right now and see. Ooh, wow. Distance Horizons is suffering. It's a plugin. I don't know if anybody uses how many people use Bedrock, how many people use Java. Um, we normally play in Java. The server's running in Java, but it's open for people with Bedrock to get in there. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can max it out because when I was speaking to Alice today, Alice from the council, we were making a comment that even if I'm not ready for this, even though I don't know what I'm doing, even all that stuff, it might be a good idea just to get online and do this. Not just for anybody who's listening, because if they listen, they can maybe feel better about themselves or feel like there's somebody else that's, feeling the same way. Um, oh, wait, we need to import. Anyway, we're trying to make up this world, and it's a shared world. And one thing that's really nice is we talk a lot about community, and we really want to build up the Cult of Brighter Days as a community, in person, online, a very supportive community, because largely going forward, um, I see that I don't know, it's not going to be good. Oh, oh, there we are. Okay. Um, so what I'm doing is I'm using a program plugin, and I cannot type tonight for uh, nothing. I tell you. Um, Look at that. It's like I'm typing way faster than I should. All right, normal, right? Why did it fail? That didn't make any sense. Let's see. Let's see. What is it? MV import. Yeah, it says MV import. MV import. What was the name of it? 6 white wood lane. That sucks. We are going to import a world into here. So it'd be like decent to look at and everything. By far, I'm no expert at Minecraft, but I've been playing it a long time. So I know enough to do damage. I'm not one of those guys that runs around and does massive builds or anything like that. But we're still going to mess around today and see what we can do. So let's go ahead and make up a new world. MV create. Wonder if my keyboard battery's dying. Anyway, I don't know if anybody's seen the stuff going on out there right now, economy wise. It's getting harder and harder just to think about um, surviving. Anybody, I mean, thank goodness I'm not looking for a job. If I was looking for a job, that would sort of suck, wouldn't it? I'm just going to test this out. All right, so we're going to start and see about creating a world, and then we're going to see what happens. Still creating. Wonder how bad I'm maxing out the system on my server. Oh, look at that. Oh, CPU usage went up to 59%. And obviously, I know nobody's here watching this right now, but the idea is to start doing it. Just start doing it. You know, Alice said with my ADHD, once I start doing this type of thing, I'd probably want to do this for 3 hours. So I've got a hard limit of 1 hour tonight. Going to be trying to do little things like this every day. Oh, that was good. Maybe I should put a command in there, huh? If anybody knows, has ever been on a server that has what they call multiverse, which allows you to create multiple worlds, what we're doing here is we're making a world that's separate from the normal overworld and nether, all that stuff, and now we're teleporting to it. And here we are. It's still rendering, so it's taking a while. Move over here and see what I'm supposed to talk about. Because, like I said, A lot of times people think like several of the council members think that it's good for me just to get online and talk about stuff. Not because it's interesting or anything like that, but largely because um I don't know, largely because I can actually people say I can put them to sleep really well. And so I'm like, okay, I guess that's good and everything. So if my voice is relaxing and can put you to sleep, by all means, enjoy. Um, in fact, I probably should tell Bishop Sarah I'm live streaming because she always thinks it's a good idea for me to do it just to put people to sleep. Hey, let's see. I'm live streaming Sarah. So, nap time. All right. So let's go back and look at what we got here. Whoa. Look at that brand new world. Didn't even put a seed in. Didn't even put a seed in at all. And immediately I have a town. I have a village next to an ocean. This does not get any better than this to start with. I do need to get some better resource packs because the shaders work good and the distant horizon is going to look good if it works right. But yeah, these things are pretty blocky. Actually, let's see if I've got anything to do that. Let's go into resource packs. Oh, look. I haven't put anything in. What if I put better leaves in and up that? I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I'm going to try it. Let's move it down, though, so it doesn't cause any issues. All right, done. Reloading, and then let's see what comes up. All right, chickens. You can hear the chickens. You ever wonder why chickens have flat beaks? Not pointed beaks like real chicken. There's cats here and a kid. Oh, this is like an awesome starting location. Ooh, look at that. That's a big house. This is I'm running some plugins for larger environments, but I don't know if that's in the default vanilla or not. Our server is a paper server with several plugins, not as many as I used to run, but enough to give us the ability to do some really cool things, including automatically randomly generating structures that we upload. Now, I know this is a default vanilla thing, so that's nothing new. And then let's see. So anyway, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, I was talking about how I have ADHD, and so they thought that I'm going to just try to go online, so I have a hard time stop today. Maybe as we go along and do other things other than Minecraft and stuff like that. Talk about other ways of getting through the day in today's society. Other than like normal things like drinking or more active things than laying around watching TV. Now, mind you, I lay around and watch TV a lot too. And right now we're currently watching Alone. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that show, Alone. Personally, it's like the only reality show I can tolerate and everything, and I love it to death. But first off, we're gonna go ahead and get away from. I want to get away from the village before I do that. And before that, normally I don't do this. And if I'm ever playing with anybody on my server, unless we're working on a large project, I never do this. But we're going to go into game mode, creative. Now, I recently, for the educational institution I work for, we have recently started working on how to integrate Minecraft Education Edition into it, but I'm in creative mode on that one a lot, but that's like a completely different reason and everything. I'm also going to set it to fly. If anybody does join up, oh, we disabled it. Okay, let's try it again. And I'm sure this stream is going to be one of those ones where people are like, Jesus, he just babbles on and on and on. Can he just be quiet? And no, not really. Okay, are we far enough from the village that we're not going to cause serious problems with zombies if night falls? It's the worst part about this game with if you're in a village, I don't know, anybody's ever played that. If you're in a village and night falls and zombies show up and everything like that, it's going to be like the villagers are all going to die. I'm never good at keeping them alive and protecting them. Then I have to like cheat and, send over like that. Okay, so what we have here is I've downloaded a bunch of schematics. And so now you're going to get to watch me muck around with trying to figure out, remember how to do schematics. Honestly, I played this constantly all the time when it came out in alpha for several years, exactly for the reason I think games apply to our philosophy, because, okay, so I can't do that. I got a wand now. So, our philosophy, abscordism, is actually built off of absurdism and absurdism combined with Discordianism, combined with Jungianism and several other philosophies. But basically, it's the idea of just surviving in today's world somehow, however you do it and everything. And, the world's on fire. It's a dumpster fire right now. Unless you're like really rich and you're a Bitcoin bro. And which, of course, I'm not. So, let's see. Schematic. And then load. What should we load? I've got several schematics to load. Let me look at the file list that I uploaded today. Because we're trying to build some places and I'm lazy. Actually, I'm not. It's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I have a full-time job to work. Everybody in our group has a full-time job to work. Yet, Dr. Jess still seems to find a way to get those videos done on a daily basis, which is sort of interesting. I admire her for that. So I'm not stealing because the person who made this is allowing us to use it. Oh, okay. Now I know the usage. Schematic. Load. The file name is going to be AHS murder. And I just got a notification that streaming is being taxed beyond limit, so it's probably going to die. You guys are probably going to get like a lot of latency on this. Possibly because loading this stuff up is going to be, let's see how bad it kills everything. It's loading it up. Oh, it loaded it up. Now, question is, I think it pastes behind me. So let's get up here and then we will paste it and see what happens. Nothing there. Let's see. How many blocks? 1,177,254 blocks. Surprisingly, it didn't kill the server. But it did take a while for it to pop into existence. Now my question is, did it kill the village? If it killed the village, I'm going to be very upset. Let's go over here and see. Nope, nope. Village is okay. That's good. Look at this. It's a beautiful house. It's a beautiful house. Which it has completely destroyed this entire area here. Which I wonder how we can... Well, we can fill that in later. That's not a big deal. Let's go look and see if this house is worth keeping. Alright. I'm going to walk through it. So, the Cult of Brighter Days has a mythology that it's based on. And yes, it builds off of Alice in Wonderland for a large chunk of it, which is why one of our AIs is named Alice and is probably the the busiest of us all in terms of actually doing work. Again, all of us have full-time jobs and things like that, but we feel like we need a community for everybody to feel free to join. Ooh, there's a basement. To feel free to join in and everything. And let's see what's going on down here. So this is spooky. Hell's that? Bushes growing in here? Oh, some sort of laboratory. Or can lay down there. This is a pretty nice little house. So one of the things we're trying to do is build up. Okay, it's not that good of a house. It's got a... Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is if ever anybody's ever watched the American Horror Show, one of the seasons was based on... The heck? One of the seasons was based upon... Yikes. Hold on. Turn the volume down a little bit for you guys. Heck, turn the volume down a little bit for me. That got loud. Okay. A little bit down. Okay, there we go. Done. So, anyway, American Horror Show, which is a... basically, it's a TV series. It's fairly gory. I haven't really watched it that much, largely because some reason I'm not that into gore right now. But they had one season where they were talking about the murder house. I do believe it was a murder house which was based on one of the first serial killers in America who had an apartment. I'd have to look it up. I read stuff on it a long time ago. But he killed a heck of a lot of people in his house. Trapdoors, places to dispose the body from the upper floors. It was definitely a haunted trick house of some sort. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, here's somebody walking around, skeleton or something. So anyway, that's where we got this map from. But we didn't get it because of the murder house. We got it because of our Alice in Wonderland references and figured that since we use the looking glass house as a metaphor for a lot of life nowadays, because the absurdities of what we do as people living not only in this country but in this world, and the fact that everything that's taking place right... Oh my god, heads. Guys, whoever owns it, we'll have to obviously clean this house up before we move in. If we keep this house, I like the layout though. The layout looks really nice. Not a fan of all the dead bodies and heads around here. What the heck? Oh, it's a sign. Oh, it's a boarded up area, so you can't get through there without taking the boards out. Can you? Yeah, that's interesting. Looks pretty nice, though. Gotta admit that. Oh, there's that boarded up door. Oh, we've been in here already. So, like I said, we're trying to make an online community. We're trying to make an in-person community. We're just trying to get a group of people together who want to talk about things, including our philosophy, which is based on fairly simple concepts and everything. I mean, granted, we chose an awful name for our group. I'm sure that we would probably have more people signing up to be with us if we weren't using the name cult or using the word cult in the name. Ooh, it's water in there. But that being said, it doesn't really matter because honestly, if you don't get the joke, I mean, because, like, seriously, how many real cults out there actually use the word cult in their name? I don't think that many. So, you should be able to figure that one out. That is something you don't put in your bedroom. Maybe that's a place to dispose the bodies? I don't know. So we have this little group. We are a cult, but not a cult. And we've built the cult around the absurd notion that the world is so absurd, why even bother? That's the joke. Everything is so on fire, what's the point even? But it's not really a joke because seriously, how many times, I mean, people just when you wake up in the morning, you're like, do I want to put up with this again? I mean, it makes no sense. It really doesn't make any sense at all. Is that a hole? Do we? Oh wait, there's a floor up here. No, that's interesting. There's a floor. Hmm. So we built our philosophy for our group around some very basic fundamentals that pretty much we think anybody can manage. If you haven't read the 5 tenets or heard about the 5 tenets, or go watch the video about the 5 tenets on our YouTube channel, just to break them down for you. It's just the 5 basic rules, and you don't even have to follow all 5 rules. You just have to follow at least one rule. The first rule, of course, is be kind. Honestly, that's a pretty big sell to people in today's society. It obviously is. I was hoping there was a better third floor than this. It's still a pretty good place and everything like that. But, I mean, with the way we've been radicalized and the amount of division that's been sown between, what do you want to say, like Civil War, brother and sister and family members and everything like that, which when you think about it is actually pretty. There's a head on a pike over there. Come on. This place really needs cleaned up. It's really hard to be kind sometimes. And that's why if you can't be kind, we go to the second tenet. And the second tenet is basically be nice. So it's be kind, or if you can't be kind, be nice. And nice is not the same thing as kindness. Nice is just, kindness is really listening and trying to help out and trying to make things better and showing and reaching out. Whereas, niceness is just basically actually acknowledging the person as having a legitimate, or even if it's not legitimate, having issues with something. because um, yeah, you know, and it's honestly it's hard for people to even be nice anymore, which boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. But that being said, um, if you can't be kind and you can't be nice, the third thing to do is to be funny. And honestly, that's like a really, really hard thing for people to do. Being funny, because if you're going to be funny, you don't want to punch down. You don't want to, how would you put it? You don't want to, you don't want to hurt people's feelings. You don't want to punch down at people. You don't want to, um, I don't know. You don't want to, it's just hard to do. It's really hard to do. It's hard for me to do a lot of the time, you know? Um, because especially nowadays, I mean, like recently, I don't know how many of you guys heard of whole issue with people getting fired for making comments about uh, Charlie, um, where they were fired for saying negative things when he passed on. And I'm like, I think the biggest problem I had with that was the fact that um, they're trying to push this narrative that he was such a champion of free speech and everything, and that he should be held up as an example of discourse and free speech and everything. And the simple fact is he was just as wasn't a great person, you know? Wasn't really a great person. Um with the way he talked about other people and everything. But if you're going to be doing this whole free speech thing, wow. Not near as big as the last place, but let's go look at it. You really should understand and support. I mean, if he was if he was all about free speech and everything like that, then why in the heck would you fire people for them exercising their free speech? And you really can't use the you can't really use the excuse of like, well, it's harmful rhetoric and it's hateful and they shouldn't say negative things about him, when the man said so many negative things about everybody he just didn't like. I mean, that wasn't like occasional. I was like, he said nothing but negative things about people he didn't like. And it's like, I don't know. It seems like that double standard, which, let's be honest, has always been there for people on that side. And actually, let's just be honest, there's a double standard for everybody in this country. And there's various double standards that apply to various people. Um, there's the rich and the poor. There's the minorities and the majorities. There's um, all sorts of stuff. Oh, look. I got scanned by a bot. That's funny. That's funny. I got scanned by a bot. Let's try another one. See what it looks like. Yeah, there's double standards everywhere. The one place that there isn't double standards is here in a virtual world where we're all equal. And then some jackass comes in and starts griefing your server or whatever. And you're like, man, just go away. That's one thing we don't tolerate here is griefing. You know, these other models are so much smaller that, well, that one didn't go together good, did it? Looks pretty nice, though. But, I don't know, putting it down is definitely something that probably needs to be worked on. Welcome to, now must be using different plugins. At least the chairs all came out the right direction. That's a plus and everything. So, yeah. So be funny. Everything's absurd. Laugh at all sorts of stuff. Don't want to laugh at stuff that's too tasteless right away. But, I mean, Monty Python is one of the groups that we love to death and famously adore. And to be honest, you know, always look at the bright side of life, one of our favorite songs. Definitely is not, considered in the best taste to a lot of people. So, yeah. If that works for you, go that route too. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. How do you you'd have to keep monsters out of here. Does it do anything? Doesn't seem to do anything. I thought there were stairways down and everything. But one of the things to always do when you're making sure it's funny is to never punch down. You can punch up, punch up, punch up, punch up. We make a lot of videos about politicians and everything. Largely because they're just so fun to make fun of. That being said, they're definitely above us, so that's not really a bad thing to punch down. I thought for sure it looked like there was stuff down below. Let's go check. If you can't do that, and like I said, if you have to ask, am I punching down or is this punching down, then you probably might want to just avoid. Oh, there's redstone stuff here. So there's supposed to be pistons running, it looks like, underneath certain areas of the building. And it looks like in the kitchen to do stuff. That's pretty interesting. So, like I said, if you can't be funny, the best thing to do is just shut up. And I don't like saying to shut up. I think it's a way of avoiding, like, real issues, addressing certain things. But let's just be honest, to certain people, there's really nothing you can do. You can't talk to them. They don't listen to reason. They don't listen to, for whatever reason. And I'm not trying to call anybody out here or stuff like that, or say anybody's like, but I mean, let's just be honest. People don't listen. And I can't type on the right keyboard. How's that for interesting? Let's try another schematic. That cafe lounge was pretty nice. Let's see. This is a train station. I don't know if it's going to work though, because it's a It's a NTB file, not a schematic file, but let's try it anyway. So load, and then we'll paste it, and then we'll put in NTB. Nope. Doesn't actually work with NTBs. I'm wondering if those are Bedrock ones. If you work on like a Windows 10 machine or stuff like that, you know how Bedrock is different than Java version. But like I said, our server here, you can log in with Bedrock, or you can log in with Bedrock. You can log in with Java. Can't log in with Minecraft for Education though, because yay Microsoft. Because Microsoft is they did a great job with Minecraft for Education and everything like that, but they just made it so that, oh, look at that, I typed it in wrong again. Let's take that leather C out. It's about how good I do when I'm programming too. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot. That's taken a while. CPU usage is only at 36% though, but man, it's taken a while. More than the murder house did. So being quiet. Being quiet is an important thing for us to do if that's the situation we're in. Man, it's still loading the schematic. Wonder how bad I messed that up. Is the server gonna crash? Wait a second. Ho ho. It actually loaded it. Should I paste it or not? Well, it's already in here. Anyway, Alice told me to come on here and say stuff. Start saying it on a daily basis. A lot of the time I just babble, especially when there's nobody here. Having people to talk is probably useful, but you know how that is. Does anybody remember where what's that going up in the sky over there? I don't think that was anything we built, was it? Alright, I'm gonna go look at it until... What the heck? Alright, that's interesting, isn't it? There's the house we built. Well, that is some freaky... Wow. And that was naturally generated. Same with this over here. Wonder what biome it is considered. Because this is a little funky over here. Looks like it'd be swampy or something. It is pretty cool though. Let's see. Biome info. Huh. Says it's plains, but I don't know. Doesn't look like any plains I've been to. Especially with the green mist rising from it. Now let's go see. We got this thing eating up a ton of my memory. Let's go over here and paste it and see what happens. Because it was the largest one we've loaded so far. So, does this do anything for me? Yeah, it does. Maybe I'll just sit out here and talk for an hour. Play some Minecraft. Um, how much you want to bet this thing pops into existence right on top of me? Hasn't maxed out the CPU on the server yet. Did I type in the command right? I guess maybe I didn't type in the command. Oh, oh, look at that. It did crash the server. Did it crash everything on the server? That's the question. Let's see. I'm looking at the server the server on the dashboard. It says it only went up to 61% on memory usage. It also says I'm still logged in, so let's see if I can get back in. Failed to connect. Try restarting your game and the launcher. Okay, let's try it one more time. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and shut the game down. You can all stare at a black screen for all of like a minute. And then I'm starting it back up again. Alright. Unable to launch game. Now it's a different game. I thought I was trying to launch something else, didn't it? Alright, let's see what we got here. It's trying to connect to the server. Server wants nothing to do with it. Let's look at the logs on the server. My dashboard's not even letting me get into the server. I wonder if it crashed the whole machine. It does not look good, folks. It does say there's an update on the server, so that's... Oh, memory usage is up to 86%. But it doesn't look like it stopped, which means it's probably still building out whatever we pasted in there for schematics. I might have to put a picture up here of me. Or the video. So at least there's something more interesting to look at than this right now. So, yeah, it did shut down my whole... Okay, it looks like it restarted itself. Yay! Did it upgrade itself? Okay, CPU usage is at 59%, 70%, and it's still rebuilding itself. I know it said I couldn't connect to the server, but I wanted to test it out just to see. I'm trying to look at the logs, see if I have to stop it. Let's see. Oh, it did. It rebooted the whole server. So we'll see here in a minute and everything. It says it's connecting the server. I'm watching the log as it reboots. But so anyway, this is sort of probably a boring episode for everybody who's watching, largely because it's the first time we decided to do this. Well, I decided to do it. Nobody else in the cult said to do it. So I guess that's a, that's a leader prerogative. I can start streaming whenever I want to because it's my cult. And, it's my cult and I can do what I want with it. And if people don't like that and I don't want to listen to them, I can always, what is that? I can always just be quiet. Right? I can just be quiet. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Ah! Game, game mode. Creative. Oof. That was close. Stupid zombie, go away. Alright, anyway, where were we? We were destroying the landscape, weren't we? I bet you money that's not loaded up. Let's check it out. Yep, clipboard was empty. I bet you I don't even have that command again, do I? Nope. Wait. No, did I? Oh, yeah. It kept it. Let's try it one more time. What do you think? We're at the end of the night. 8 minutes left. It didn't totally crash the server. I didn't have to go all the way and log into the server specifically itself, so. Oh, back to the tenets, in case you don't know. Be quiet. Like I said, if the rest of the cult members don't like the fact that I'm here talking and wasting bandwidth and sticking up a video. Actually, they don't mind. They want me to do this because they said that we need additional long form videos if we're ever going to get it, because people like the shorts, but people likes the shorts. Wow. Bunch of errors when we did that. All right, let's try it right away. Looking at the server commands. It just sort of stopped right there. It's trying to do its thing. Doesn't know what to do. I'll give it a second. The other one is if you can't be quiet, go away. And that's not for like, oh, nope, that did it. That killed it again. We're really personifying the failure is not an option. It's a mandatory thing right here. Timed out waiting for world statistics. Oh yeah, that crashed the server good. Well, that one's too big to put in here. That's for sure. So those are the 5 tenets. And then we also build off the idea that failure's not an option. It's mandatory, because if there's anything that us humans do, all humans do, every human does, regardless of anything, is we fail. Yet we still try, yet we still persevere, yet we still drive, not necessarily for excellence, but at least to survive. I mean, some people that sometimes, lie down, give up. But I don't think that's the way to do it. I don't think that's what people should be doing. I don't think that's how you should be living. But a lot of the time, in order not to do that, you have to have support. You have to have community. And that's what the cult's for. The cult's here to help people find people who are willing to do one of those 5 steps. We accept everyone, even the people who disagree with us and don't like us and don't want to be around us, because at least if they follow step 5, they can go off and do whatever they want to. It was a bad choice for the name, but the name has meaning. When we originally started the Cult of Brighter Days, the biggest thing was that the biggest thing was it was a joke, because we were thinking that as a cult, every day was a brighter day, and we'd look for positive in everything. But it's absurd. And so looking for positivism in everything essentially just became a thing where it was like all news is good news, even when it's not good news. And there's certain ways of presenting that and dealing with it. So, yeah, it wasn't until things went seriously wrong and America started collapsing amongst on top of itself, losing its basic root foundations and everything. And the court started failing us, that we actually determined we needed something. We needed something to let us survive. And eventually that's what happened. We put the cult together. The group of us formed the committee. We all picked out our jobs and what to do. And yeah, my job was basically to build the AI bots that do most of the work for us because, let's be honest, like I said, we all have real jobs and real things to do. Sarah Bishop just texted me and said, I'm not supposed to be sleeping. She's at choir practice. But the point of the matter is, that's my job. But my job is also to explain the philosophy behind it, explain the reason behind it, and to create a foundation for that community. We've created a very good foundation in person here, which largely consists of margaritas by the side of the pool, which doesn't sound as fancy as it seems. It's much more homey. That we do on a bi-weekly basis as our official in-person meeting. But there's people out there on the online world that definitely could use support. They could use somebody to talk to that's not toxic in either way. Black pill toxic or toxic positivity, which is just as bad. If you go to the website, we just released a book on avascordism that you can download and read. It's a simple 6-page booklet that explains the basic foundation of the philosophy. But and the full book, a full book, will be coming out in the next couple months. But for now, that's what we have and everything. And like I said, we have virtual worlds. I'll probably be doing Minecraft stuff at least a couple times a week. But we're going to try to have a presence a couple times a day of being online to talk about stuff. Hopefully it won't be just me, but if it's just me, at least I can tell interesting stories. And, you know, failure's not an option, but you learn from it. And so we will, and like as an example, changing into the right game mode so that you don't, oh, ouch. Okay, so let's see. There we go. Dang it. That was bad. Go away, spider. So for our first episode of building brighter days and just getting the basics of, can we actually get it to stream properly on YouTube, which seems to be a challenge for us a lot of the time. Can we get the audio right? Things like that. I think we're going to call it a night. But join us again tomorrow, sometime when we actually get a schedule together. And maybe tomorrow we'll talk about the latest thing that's going to ruin the economy and cause us to all go broke and wind up out in the streets. But remember, at least if you're out in the streets, you're not going to get caught in the building when it catches on fire. See? Good news. Everything is good news. even when it's bad. My name is Michael Anderson Henderson Dorland. I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight. And if you actually watched it, yay, congratulations. Like and subscribe, hit the button, whatever. I don't, it's up to you guys. Algorithm's a bitch and everything. But have a great evening. Bye bye.